A couple of years ago, I got super into the idea of video game adaptations and it became a new obsession. Since then, I've managed to collect a complete set of every theatrically released American video game adaptation, as well as a whole host of other television series, anime, and various other adaptations that have come out over the years. Of course, like any collection, there's always new things coming out, and a collection like this one is never finished. So, as we're beginning the year, I thought it would be fun to take a look at all the adaptations that are coming up and give my thoughts about each one before ranking them by how hyped I am to watch them. It's also worth noting that I'm writing this video at the beginning of February, so it's possible that if you're watching this video later in the year, something else has been announced that's not in this video. Let's get started. I've just started to get more and more into the Devil May Cry franchise, so I'm excited to watch this show when it comes out. I'm a huge fan of Castlevania, and I was a pretty decent fan of Tomb Raider, so I have a lot of faith that this studio knows what they're doing when it comes to adapting video games. The art style and music choices already seem so well fitting, and this show will be, for sure, a day one watch. I think Devil May Cry works better in animation than live action ever would, so the medium choice was a good call. Unlike our next release, what could I possibly say about this movie that hasn't already been said? I remember when the idea of a movie based on Minecraft first came about, and even being doubtful then. But now that it's come to fruition and we have trailers, I am more doubtful than I think I could ever be. I am dumbfounded that multiple people approved the idea that all they had to do for Steve was shove Jack Black in a blue shirt and call it a day. The fact that they decided to make it a hybrid movie as well is absolutely the wrong move. A fully animated movie in the style of something like Minecraft Story Mode, with a bigger budget, would have been the safest move. I am interested in watching it purely on the fact that I expect it to be a complete train wreck, and that, in and of itself, is more entertaining than the plot probably will be. This is one that I'm hesitantly optimistic about. Season 1 was everything I could have ever wanted it to be, and one of the better video game adaptations we've ever gotten. I would have immediate faith in this season because of this, but the reason I'm hesitant is knowing what source material they're working with for this season. Now, I don't want to start any fights in the comments, but as polished, optimized, and gorgeous as The Last of Us Part 2 was, the story was something I personally thought wasn't very good. So knowing that, I'm hesitant to see what they choose to adapt in the next season, and if they can somehow make it better in the live-action version, knowing all the backlash the game got, and having a couple years to simmer on it. I'll be watching day one for sure, just maybe with my fingers crossed. I've never played Until Dawn, and although I plan to rectify that before the movie comes out, I am writing and recording this episode before doing so my thoughts on the movie will be based on my small amount of knowledge and the thoughts I had watching the trailer. The idea of making a new story within the world of Until Dawn was an interesting but necessary one, because I think if they were just to adapt the story, the movie would essentially just be a shot-for-shot remake of the game's cutscenes. So making it something original I think was the right move to avoid that pitfall. In terms of the story they did choose, the idea is intriguing, but on trailer alone it seems a little one-note and boring. That could be just what they chose to show. It's also knowing that David Sandberg is at the helm here, who, in my eyes, is an extremely hit-or-miss director, so I'm hesitant to see if this is one of his hits or one of his misses. His strong suit is horror, though, so I guess we'll have to see. Maybe I'll have a different opinion once I play the game. I absolutely love Mortal Kombat. The entire universe and franchise is so much fun. I think the original movie back in the 90s was really good, and I did appreciate what the first reboot movie that this is a sequel to was trying to do, and I'm curious what they could do with a sequel. We haven't seen much more than a couple of set pictures so far for this one, so I can't say too much about how I'll feel, but the first movie was pretty solid, so I'm intrigued to see where they go from here. I hope it gets to continue after this because Mortal Kombat is a franchise that I personally think works well for film and television. I don't think it's any secret how big of a FNAF fan I am. Despite what the vocal minority states, I thought that the first movie was a perfect adaptation of the franchise and was super happy with the end result. That being said, the sequel better live up to the first movie, which may be unreasonably high standards to have, but I will be patiently waiting in my seat on the Thursday night premiere when the movie comes out this December. I'm extremely hyped to see the toy animatronics come to life, and I hope that Markiplier has an open slot this time, because I missed him so dearly in the last movie, especially after knowing that he was supposed to be in it. Speaking of Markiplier, now unlike the rest of the adaptations on this list, this is the first one that does not have an official release date yet, but I'm really hoping that Iron Lung comes out sometime this year. Not to say that I want him to rush it, but I'm just excited to see it because I think it's really cool to see an indie game adaptation done by a small studio. Iron Lung is such a cool game and concept, so I think an on-screen adaptation would be super cool. I hope it releases in a theater near me so I can see it on the big screen, but I will be happy to watch it on any screen that I can support a small indie projects and Markiplier. Alright, so here we have our tier list. I'm going to start in order. Devil May Cry, definitely going to be a day one watch. Minecraft movie, I'm going to see it day one, but like in terms of my actual feelings of it, probably excited but not ecstatic. As said in the scripted portion, The Last of Us Part 2 is definitely hesitantly optimistic. Until Dawn, again, all of these I'll end up seeing day one, but I'm ranking these more on my feelings of the adaptation more than I am like the reality of being able to see them right away. And I think Until Dawn, at least for now, when I haven't played the game, is going to be an I'll get around to it. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, no questions asked, day one watch. Same with Iron Lung. And then Mortal Kombat 2, I'd say, is definitely in that same boat of excited but not ecstatic. So, thankfully, none of the ones announced so far are in the this is going to be trash category, but we do have some good day ones and got a couple in the excited category. T-Lu Season 2 and Until Dawn, I'll still be there. I'll still watch them, but I can't say that I'm the most excited for either of them. So this is my official tier ranking. If you guys disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.